Hi, I'm Kate, the Modern Day Settler, and today I'm going to give you an updated tour of my goat mini barn. Now, the first video that I did on this tour, I did it in July of 2018. It is now March of 2020, so a little over a year and a half. And while there are some things that have not changed at all as far as the configuration of this side of the barn, my milk stand's still here, my shelf is still here, my feed and my hay box is still here. There are some things that have changed, that we've added, just little things for organization and that we have grown into over the past year and a half. If you haven't watched my previous video, I highly recommend that you do so. That's where I give exact dimensions of the stalls, dimensions of the mini barn. I'm not going to rehash all that. This is merely an update of what has changed since then. So let's take a look. So the most significant change that has been made is the addition of this 6 by 16 foot overhang. We added this in October of 2018 actually, so not too long after I did the video on the mini barn, and this has made a humongous difference in the summer but also during the winter. This additional communal space for the animals to congregate, to be outside but not actually be in the elements, not only allows my stalls to stay cleaner, but they get a lot less stir crazy because they're not on top of each other, especially seeing as how we have added additional goats. We have added Wyatt the donkey, and we also have sheep that stay here during the winter with the goats. So this has been probably one of the best things that I could honestly say that we have done here, just to for our convenience, for our sanity, as well as the animals. We are also in the middle of kidding / lambing season, so this third stall is being utilized for just that. We also have added an additional jug to the outside underneath the overhang that again allows the moms and the babies to get outside, get some fresh air, but also still be separated from the herd. I do have a blog post on this. There's a goat jumping up on me. I do have a blog post on the lambing jug about size, dimensions, things like that. But we currently have Ruby, my Nubian, and her kid, as well as Audrey and her quads in here for the day. And then at night, Ruby and her baby get a separate stall, just because that stall to be shut in at night is too small for two moms and their babies. So for now, this allows them to get outside, get fresh air, all that good stuff, while still being separated from the herd and have some protection. As I said, this overhang provides a lot of communal space for the animals, and one thing that we have done to mitigate any drainage issues, hoof rot, things like that, is we actually have 4 by 6 stall mats lining the entire outside of the overhang. This allows, again, them to not have issues with mud and hoof rot because there's a solid surface for them to walk on. I do still throw out hay or straw to give them some fresh bedding because a lot of them, especially the sheep, choose to sleep out here protected from the elements, but they are still, you know, somewhat outside, so it gives them some fresh bedding to lay down on and be comfortable. And then with the floor mats or the stall mats down, it allows me to very easily clean them because, again, I have a solid surface that I'm scraping off of. And this has made a huge difference in hoof health, trimming hooves, and just all around the animals being happy and having a communal space to sleep. The one change that we have made is that we no longer use buckets of water inside the stalls, unless, of course, a mother and her baby are shut in there for bonding after they are born. Instead, we use this 55-gallon stock tank with a heated waterer because, again, we just have too many animals for single buckets. I was also finding that they would poop in them, and they were just a nuisance and kind of a pain. So we switched to this large stock tank. And we have a 35-gallon water tank with a hose attached that we drive down with the side-by-side to fill it so that we don't have to lug buckets all over the place. While we still use the hay feeders that are located inside the stalls, we also converted this IBC tote into a hay feeder just because we have too many animals to feed out hay into each individual feeder consistently to allow them to have free choice. But we fashioned this metal roof that lifts off to allow us to easily fill it to keep it protected from rain and snow as much as possible. This has been a really big money and time saver because we've also been able to fit round bales in here, or just to throw squares in, a few squares at a time, and then we don't have to worry about feeding out hay for a few days, and everybody has free choice. So again, that's just a real quick little update of things that have changed. Not a whole lot has changed, just we've had some updates made, added this overhang, updated our hay feeder system, updated the water, little things like that, fine-tuned our lambing jug. So if you really want the nitty-gritty as far as things I would have changed, sizing of the barn, sizing of the stalls, things like that, make sure you check out the first video that I posted a year and a half ago. And I will also advise that you check out my blog because I have blog posts on the lambing jug, the goat milk stand, all kinds of things on kidding sheep, things like that. So thank you for